Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative News. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. Starting off locally here in Trinidad and Tobago, former Minister of Tourism, Culture and the Arts, Randall Mitchell, PNM, of course, has cautioned against what he described as the reduction of Trinidad and Tobago's cultural expression to mere noise, following Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessa's announcement of new measures to curb noise pollution, including a ban on all fetes at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. You could depend on mainstream media and the PNM bandwagon to twist everything to make it look as though it's negative. Bear in mind, people, that I do criticize the Kamala Persad administration at times, but not when it pertains to this particular issue. Noise pollution is very, very real, and we experience it even in our own personal neighborhoods. We enjoy the music, but when it's extremely loud and it's disturbing us from carrying about our normal lives at home, and chores at home, just wanting to probably just sit down and listen to the news or listen to your own music, and you are hearing extremely loud music in your communities, it is disturbing. The songs are nice, you enjoy the songs, sometimes for 20 minutes or half an hour you enjoy it, but then it becomes a nuisance. So people, that is common sense. But my response online was, the volume of the music is the issue, my dear PNM3 media and PNM patriots. The volume is the issue, which residents of communities throughout Trinidad and Tobago, including mine, here in Gilk Street, Sangre Grande, complain about. Not the type of music being played. A lot of the times, the community DJs play wonderful music. Other times, I really don't like the genre of music at all. But nevertheless, what is the volume is what most of us cannot cope with. This is what we the people's Prime Minister, intends to address and resolve. Ladies, meet your new go-to bag, our mega duffel handbag, perfect for your travel, shopping, the gym, and everything in between. Crafted from premium Oxford material, it's not just stylish, it's built to last. The ideal size, flawless design, and unbeatable quality make it the bag you'll reach for every time. Versatile and ready for anything. WhatsApp 762-6589 to order yours today. Sticking on the same topic for a little longer, with an estimated 100,000 people set to lose work related to carnival events. So they're saying, PNM3 media, they will of course try to push that narrative. So let me read that over. With an estimated 100,000 people set to lose work related carnival events, entertainment industry stakeholders are questioning the government's decision to ban the use of UDCUT operated venues for carnival fetes. I'm quite sure it's because of their location. But anyhow, they call the move a death knell to the country's entertainment industry. My response? PNM's worthless fete culture, which was abused by these promoters for decades, not just now, people, for decades, resulted in residents in various areas suffering from sleepless nights. You're talking about for weeks and even months, people, and other stress-related illnesses. I'm quite sure, appropriate venues will be approved for carnival fetes to continue, But PNM3 can't help but use any opportunity possible to attack the Kamla Prasad administration. And even in those venues that will be provided for these promoters, I'm sure there's going to be a cut-off time. Because even you may be in the city and they're blasting that music so loud, people in districts miles away still hear that music, and sometimes it's still extremely loud. Sometimes there are parties, especially during carnival time, in the heart of Sandwich Grande, and we could still hear it. We could still hear it in our homes in Gilg Street and Guayco and other parts of on the outskirts of the town of Sandwich Grande itself. And those are just most of the times it's just like clubs, nightclubs that playing that music so loudly. So just imagine when it is in an open area, how much more extreme, much louder it's going to be. So that is what it's going to be about. It's going to be about regulating the entire the process that takes place during these carnival events to ensure, okay, you're playing loud music up until probably midnight, and then lock off. Or if it is you want to continue carrying on your fete, turn down your music. It's all about that, people. It's all about showing compassion, consideration for those who do not want to participate in those fetes, who want to just have a normal, peaceful night's sleep, people. No more overheating phones. Cool your phones in seconds. Prevents damage to phones and battery issues. Better gaming experience and streaming. USB powered and fast charging. Lightweight and quiet. Ideal for kids and adults. Works with all smartphones. Makes a great gift. Call or WhatsApp 868-762-6589. The series of incidents connected to 20-pound LPG gas tanks is being addressed by the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries. Thankfully, there was already some sort of investigation taking place, but this here is they're going deeper into it now. Between April and October 20, but listen to the date, listen to the date, and then I will say something. Between April and October 2025, there have been several reports of gas tank explosions at residential homes, resulting in serious injuries and even fatalities, sadly. Minister of Energy and Energy Industries, Dr. Rudal Munilal, the line minister for the National Petroleum Marketing Company, the agency responsible for regulating and testing gas cylinders, has responded to these incidents, and he said that there are certain type of mechanisms that can be put in place to prevent these tragedies from happening, raising alarm and so forth. But I'm just looking at, I just want to raise back this point here. From April. When did Kamla Prasad Bisesa win the elections? In April. Is this sabotage? Is there someone working in NP that is actually they're interfering with these cylinders, these 20-pound cylinders, tampering with them? That was the word I was looking for. Is this sabotage, people? Because how come it wasn't this? You were not hearing about these type of tragedies before April. Why is it now happening? People, you have to think, you know. We have to think. But nevertheless, I'm not saying that that something needs to be done about it. And I'm not saying it's probably incompetence and neglect on the part of NP in general. Maybe a lot of these tanks are extremely old. And so therefore, Rudal Munilal is saying that much more needs to be done to ensure that these tragedies don't occur.
Between April and October 2025, there have been several reports of gas tank explosions at residential homes, resulting in serious injuries and even fatalities. Minister of Energy and Energy Industries, Dr. Rudal Munilal, Line Minister for the National Petroleum Marketing Company, the agency responsible for regulating and testing gas cylinders, has responded to these incidents.
However, of increasing concern is the high incidence of LPG incidents, the high incidence of these LPG events, particularly LPG for residential use. It raises the question as to why technology is not being used to minimize or eliminate accidents. There are currently a range of technologies for LPG safety use, such as LPG monitoring and safety systems, which monitor use, detect leakages, shut off gas supply, and provide immediate alarms.
The minister said there are technological options to address safety issues regarding the LPG cylinders.
There's also blast-proof technology that can be incorporated into cylinders to reduce the risk of explosions. Under the petroleum regulations, the ministry's approval is required for the storage of crude petroleum and dangerous petroleum products. Ladies and gentlemen, the storage facilities, including piping, are assessed based on a checklist developed from the U.S. National Fire Protection Association, NFPA, standards.
He added that government is working with regulators to tighten controls.
As a matter of urgency, we have instructed the ministry to collaborate with NP and other regulatory agencies to continue to investigate the series of explosions and fires linked to LPG cylinders. It is intended that these findings and the findings of this investigation will better inform safety practices in the use of LPG.
Dr. Munilal indicated that immediate measures are being put in place to address the safety issues.
In the interim, NP has been directed to review the processes and procedures of its subsidiary company, NatPet Investment Company Limited, which operates a filling, testing, and refurbishment plant for LPG to ensure that all cylinders supplied are verified as being free from leaks or any other defects.
Data from the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service indicated that between 2022 and 2025, there have been 75 reports involving LPG cylinders. 29 of the incidents resulted in fires, while 46 were gas leaks. Terry Ann Brown Campbell, TTT News.
Premium touchscreen wireless headsets restocked. 1.9-inch HD full-color touchscreen. ANC and ENC noise reduction for crystal clear calls. 9D panoramic sound. Long battery life and fast charging. Control music, videos, TikTok, YouTube, and much more. Camera feature, voice assistant, timer, stopwatch, and lyrics on screen. Water resistant, sleek design. Available in gold, black, blue, and purple. Gift ready packaging with replacement earbuds included. Never lose your earbuds again with the Find Headphones feature that actually works. Don't miss out. WhatsApp 762-6589 to place your order. Limited stock available. A prison officer is in custody after being found with drugs. Yes, herbs probably. I don't know if it's probably the other powder ones too. And other prohibited items during a joint search exercise at the maximum security prison in Aruca on Wednesday morning. During random searches of officers reporting for duty, one prison officer was found with 2 vacuum-sealed bags of marijuana, the herb, false code of Trinidad and Tobago, marijuana. One vacuum-sealed bag containing 69 Broadway cigarettes, they like the Broadway to smoke with a herb, strapped to his body, and 15 Astra razor blades concealed in his wallet. That could be used as weapons, people. I'm telling you, all these rogue prison officers care about is earning extra cash. It's sad. A subsequent search of his vehicle uncovered a clear plastic bag containing even more of the herb, the false god of Trinidad and Tobago. 2 digital scales, lighters, and a pair of scissors. He have a little small business on the side there, you know, Jed. 2 memory cards, a pack of wrapping paper, and 2 imitation firearms. Police said the total weight of the marijuana seized was approximately 300 grams. Well, brother, now you have lost your job and probably even your freedom. All for what? Some extra cash. Really, I'm telling you, it begs the question, what these people really want in life? Why didn't go and try to get a second job if it is you so needed extra cash? You want to do the illegal thing. Your mind, you are justified in your actions too. Tired of losing your keys, phone, or coins in that annoying gap between your car seat and the console? We've got the perfect solution. Our universal car seat gap fillers are back in stock, ready to save your stuff and make your ride clutter-free. Available in black, brown, beige, and red, they're designed to fit any car seat and blend perfectly with your interior. Simply WhatsApp 762-6589 to place your order and enjoy delivery straight to your door in just 1 to 3 days. There have been almost 2,000 oil spills in Trinidad and Tobago over the last 9 years. Who was in office for the past 9 years? Okay then. The figure was shared by the Minister of Energy and Energy Industries, Dr. Rudal Munilal, as he highlighted the need to promote a revised national oil spill contingency plan. Minister Munilal said oil spills and leaks present a significant percentage of the reportable incidents in the local oil and gas industry, and added that between 2016 and the first half of 2025, there were 1,858 oil spills. That's ridiculous, people, with 71% of them occurring online. On land. Wow. Okay then. That really needs to be resolved or rectified.
Minister of Energy and Energy Industries, Dr. Rudal Munilal, said oil spills and leaks represent a significant percentage of the reportable incidents in the local oil and gas industry. He added that between 2016 and the first half of 2025, there were 1,858 oil spills, with 71% of them occurring on land.
51 spills in 2016, 302 spills in 2023, and 180 spills to June 2025. In total, 92,335 barrels were spilled. Heritage and its predecessor, Petrotrin, were responsible for 80% of the number of oil spills and 94% of the barrels of oil spilled.
The minister noted that the increase in the number of oil spills has a devastating effect on the local economy, land and marine ecosystems.
It is imperative to promote a revised national oil spill contingency plan. This initiative requires not only government action, but also strong collaboration with industry stakeholders. There will be a reactivation of the National Oil Spill Contingency Committee with broad participation from relevant government agencies, industry, civil groups, the labor movement, etc., with a mandate to develop recommendations.
Dr. Munilal highlighted government's progress on the initiative.
I can indicate to you that we have already had discussions with the Honorable Attorney General for consideration to be given to the introduction of legislation to incorporate these conventions into national law.
Terry Ann Brown Campbell, TTT News.
You won't be disappointed with this one. Look and feel great every day. Painless trimming with no pulling of hair guaranteed. Comfortable to hold and lightweight. Intelligent anti-pinch system. Safety travel lock. Accurate and painless trimming. Durability 100% quality. Fast charging. To place an order, call or WhatsApp 868-762-6589. Moving on now to news from Guyana, affirming the People's Progressive Party, PPP civic commitment to leadership grounded in humility, courage, and national inclusion. President Dr. Irfan Ali has pledged to make the highest office, listen to this, in Guyana more accessible to every citizen through technology and innovation. Speaking at the launch of a new public service upskilling platform earlier this week, President Ali said his vision is to connect with Guyanese directly, not through the media or anything like that, to the work of his office, ensuring that the government becomes more accessible digitally. He said, we are leading from the highest office with humility and courage. I hope our Prime Minister follows suit. We will introduce our entire country to my office, and we will make my office accessible to the entire country by the palm of your hands. He explained that the country's digital push should not only depend on building human capacity and technical capability on a national scale, but also on cultivating confidence in the country's own ideas and solutions. This man, I'm telling you, he's not perfect. I don't agree with everything he does or says, but he is an inspiration for the entire region. And we should even follow his example here in Trinidad and Tobago. Guyana's crude oil production hits new milestone following the ramp-up of Yellowtail to full capacity. Production capacity from 8 developments is expected to reach 1.7 million barrels of oil by 2030. ExxonMobil Guyana Limited and its Starbrook Block Co-Ventures, Hess Guyana Exploration Limited and CNOOC Petroleum Guyana Limited on Wednesday announced that they reached a new production milestone of 900,000 barrels of oil daily, people. Daily. ExxonMobil, of course, and I think we have them here in Trinidad and Tobago now. So that is definitely going to probably boost our production here in this country as well. Moving on now to international news. A North Carolina woman will have to pay $1.75 million after a jury found her liable for destroying a Durham couple's marriage. What? The lawsuit accused Brené Kennard, an influencer with nearly 3 million followers on TikTok and 274,000 followers on Instagram, of seducing, listen to this craziness, of seducing and having an affair with her manager, Tim Montague. North Carolina is one of the few states that allows jilted spouses to sue someone for interfering in their marriage. Wow. My response, wifey, you won this lawsuit, but you will have to continue filing other lawsuits in the future because Huzzy doesn't know how to say no when offered to eat outside. I will never understand women especially, but men do it as well. Blaming the other individual for your own spouse's infidelity, your own spouse's lack of self-control, the inability to make the right choice and say no. Because I love my partner, I love my wife, I love my husband. Therefore, I will remain faithful and devoted to him or her. That is the person that you're supposed to be blaming. Not the person on the outside, because temptation will always come, people. Temptation will always come. It's the individual to stand up and resist that temptation. And therefore, when you're holding someone accountable, hold your spouse, hold your husband, hold your wife responsible for their actions. If there's anybody to sue, it's to sue your husband, madam. Because when he goes outside and finds someone else again while you're enjoying this woman's hard-earned money, she's an influencer, but she still worked hard for that money. He's going to be horning you still with somebody else until you find out about it. Maybe he's already horning you with multiple other individuals. And for those who are looking abroad and want to know what horning means, horning here in Trinidad means when you are unfaithful. Cheating, in other words. Cheating. Americans say cheating, we say horning. So at the end of the day, this was one of the most ridiculous stories I've heard in an extremely long time. Another 25 Christians have been gruesomely murdered in the last 12 days as the ongoing genocide in Nigeria continues. I really hope and pray that Trump will intervene on behalf of the Christians and even peaceful, moderate Muslims in Nigeria, because there are Muslims that are being massacred as well because they do not want to join those radical jihadist gangs. Nigeria remains one of the most dangerous places in the world to be a Christian, according to Open Doors 2025 World Watch list. In a recent report, the organization noted that of the 4,476 Christians killed recently for their faith worldwide, 3,100 or 69% took place in Nigeria. That staggering number only begins to paint a picture of the carnage, killing, and horror taking place. And that's just Nigeria. Sudan is another place where Christians are persecuted as well, and even in Syria. And where is Tucker Carlson? Where's Candace Owen? Where's BLM? I mean, in Nigeria and Sudan, these are black people that are being murdered, being massacred. But remember, no Jews, no news. And if you don't have whites, of course, you're not going to complain either. The only time they complain about blacks being murdered is when a white person is the perpetrator, or definitely when a Jew is the perpetrator. Other than that, we are not hearing a peep from CNC3. We are not hearing a peep from CNN or BBC about this type of tragedy that is taking place. And when Trump says that he is willing to invade, to destroy and crush those jihadist radical groups and restore some type of safety for Christians in Nigeria, locals here in Trinidad and Tobago said, no, do not go and enter our precious African countries. Stay out, white America. In other words, our fellow Trinidadians prefer for their own black people to continue being massacred in Nigeria than for the white people in America to intervene to save their own black people's lives. I will never understand how people can think like that. Syrian President, jihadist, terrorist al-Shara, in an interview with the Washington Post said, we are conducting direct negotiations with Israel and we have made good progress toward reaching an agreement. But to reach a final agreement, Israel must withdraw to the borders before December 8th. In other words, he does not want them anywhere on Syrian soil and probably even the Golan Heights. Ahmad Safati asked this question. Should we trust this jihadist and his gang on Israel's borders? Never. And I will say the same thing. Hell no. Never, ever, ever. It must never be allowed again to be able to have be in any close proximity to the Israeli borders. Closing off now with the interesting facts segment. Tokyo's underground temple can hold 100 Olympic pools, but the whole system stores nearly 270. This is not a museum or a movie set. It's Japan's metropolitan outer underground discharge channel, one of the largest flood control systems ever built, hidden beneath the greater Tokyo region. When typhoons or sudden cloudbursts threaten to overflow nearby rivers, this underground network catches the extra water before it can flood neighborhoods. That is really something that the entire world should follow and adopt. I mean, maybe we have it to a limited extent here in Trinidad. Nah, I don't. But we should. That will definitely prevent a lot of flooding from taking place. And in other parts of the world as well, even in America. Now, of course, that is just in Tokyo. Maybe that isn't widespread around or throughout the whole of Japan. But still, sounds like something that even the rest of Japan should adopt, implement, and the world by extension. Folks, that brings us to the end of today's news report. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay blessed and stay safe most of all. In Jesus' name.